before we get into your story, just to catch everyone up, and I think I just said it right. Like we just did this transition phase, but right now, Mighty Oaks is not just in this transition phase of you and I, like you be handing off the baton of CEO to you. It's in a really big growth phase, and it's so it was a point to where we had to address something like this. And right now, for those that know about Mighty Oaks, I'll let Jeremy give a kind of overview of what we do, the 4 things that we do at Mighty Oaks, but all 4 of those things in a growth phase. So can you share like what are the 4 things that Mighty Oaks really focuses on?
Yeah. So, you can kind of trace this historically for Mighty Oaks. We started off as what we would call now recovery. Again, back in the olden days, we called it the Fight Club. It was, it worked out really well in the early days until people started showing up ready to fight. We weren't about that.
They attributed my MMA background to the Fight Club.
And so in the early days of Mighty Oaks, we had a 5-day program, very similar to what we do now. In fact, that has not changed much. But we were very focused, you were very focused, and then we were very focused on combat veterans. And really, I was talking about this the other day with someone. I feel like in those early days, it was about reaching people not only like us, but the people we knew.
Yeah.
We wanted to help people that we knew personally, that we had served with and that we were involved with. And God had done this work in our lives, and we wanted to help other people understand that. But not just other people like broadly, very specific people, like the people we knew who needed help.
Yeah, through our network. And it was, for me, it was very much a pay it forward. Like, I felt God had given me a second chance. Some mentors came around me, and Steve Toth stepped into my life, and just family and friends, and I felt like, man, like I'm here because of other people. I need to pay this forward, and that's how it started for me. And just over the years, we've it's just grown, and then it morphed from veterans to we're like, hey. It's great to help veterans, but let's help people and then in transitioning. So help people out as they're transitioning. And the Marine Corps Wounded Warrior Battalion trusted us. And then we're like, let's get people before this happened. And that started the resiliency program.
So that's the second part. So we were very recovery focused, which is, we deal with trauma, post-traumatic stress, a lot of trauma related to military service or that in the first responder community, but really it's trauma related to life that someone carries into the uniform. And then their service kind of exacerbates that. And so we're able to come alongside and help them really get their feet underneath them and move forward. So that's what we would consider recovery. You made this distinction today. We're in a meeting today and you made this distinction. We're not talking about like alcoholism and those kind of things. There are great programs for that. What we're talking about is life recovery and getting people back on track. But then yes, having the opportunity to say, what if we got out in front of this? Well, that's resilience. So how do we help people become resilient where they can deal with the traumas, the trials, and the difficulties of life, get knocked down, but have the tools already built in, have already made those good decisions so that when they get knocked down, they're able to recover, to bounce back. That is to be resilient.
Right.
And so that became, I don't even know how many years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, a big focus of effort for our organization, but specifically, I think, for you to be able to speak to active duty units, but young active duty military guys who hadn't had the bottom fall out yet and in other settings. So resiliency has become a big part of what we do, trying to get the right things built in before the bottom falls out so that they don't end up in our recovery program, which is, our legacy program.
Yeah, it's trying to prevent the problem.
Right.
I always say that, and I've heard this, I didn't token it, but an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Right.
And one of my favorite things to do at Mighty Oaks previous to this transition and now, I'm still going to be involved in Mighty Oaks doing this, working in this capacity for the resiliency events. It is the resiliency events, going and speak in front of the troops. And it's going to be next year, this coming year, is going to be 10 years at MCRD San Diego.
That's so crazy.
Which is Marine Corps Boot Camp San Diego. And then now I'm at Paris Island as well, which, I don't want to give this as credit to me. It's just credit to the organization and credit to leaders in the Marine Corps. We've been I'm one of only 2 people, myself and Phil Downer, that since Vietnam that gets to go speak to these Marine recruits and at Marine Corps Boot Camp and give them the resiliency tools. One of the reasons that everybody's listening to the show right now, the show is the Resilient Show. And the reason this show is named the Resilient Show is because of this being the last 10 years of my life, is speaking on this topic, because what I truly believe fundamentally is that if you're in the military or not, if people will align their lives with the lives they were created to live and be resilient in these 4 pillars the military talks about: mind, body, spirit, and social. If you could be, mentally tough, have the right perspectives, be physically, take care of your body and keep your body healthy, socially, surround yourself with the right people, and then having a strong spiritual foundation for you and I through a relationship with Jesus. If you could do all 4 of those things, you're going to be resilient to whatever life throws at you, and you're gonna be able to. Doesn't mean you're not gonna fall down. It means when you do, you're gonna be able to get back up. And so, from naming this show, that was like no better name for a show to what I think is most important in my life was the Resilient Show. And that comes from the speaking to about 500,000 troops over the last 10 years and doing that in the books you and I have written, like Path to Resiliency and Truth About PTSD and Not the Solution. Those books have been given out, upwards of between 350, 400,000 copies of those books.
That's crazy.
Now. And by the way, those books, that Jeremy and I put out, we sell them online, but they're totally free. If you go on our website, is that where they go?
Yeah, go to the website and I think it says Mighty Oaks Library. It's something, you'll find it. Yeah, and they're all free downloads.
Yeah, you could download those 3 books for free.
Yeah,
and they're incredible reads, if I must say so myself.
Yeah, and they're short, which is nice. We always joke about why they're short, but really they're short so you can digest them in an hour and a half. So and use them for other people.
So that's 2 of the 4 things.
Yeah. So resiliency. So, resiliency, very, very important. And then one of the things we've been doing for a long time, but we've really onboarded that as one of our efforts is what we call international programs. Probably 2016, I don't know, around 2016, a foreign military came to us and asked if we would help them learn a lot of the things that we've learned and understand how they could help the folks that they're helping. And what's sad but interesting, and it's an open door, is that militaries around the world are much more open to spiritual resilience and conversations around spiritual resilience than our military is. And so we've had open doors in a lot of places. And then as you went to Afghanistan and did the rescue effort really in Afghanistan, which was a big opportunity for, again, what we now call our international program, and then spent the last couple of years in Ukraine training chaplains and training other people really with the same things we do here, but doing that in other places. They don't have the same resources. They don't have the same tools. And we're able to take teams that can really line that out and help equip them to serve the people they serve. And so recovery, resilience, and then international now has been a big effort. It's one of those interesting efforts because our involvement in that ebbs and flows as the world is changing and opportunities arise. But it's been a big one, and your son Hunter has been very instrumental in developing that.